The lesson is, yes, she found a preservative. There is no reason why we need to have a lime juice with a preservative in it. So how would I go around this to make sure I don't get this preservative?
Buy a lime.
Buy a lime, buy a lemon, bring them home, squeeze it in a glass of water.
Very convenient to have it like
It's
this.
very convenient, but there are some places that will not put a preservative in it. So you have to look around because one thing.
They said
I'm
no,
not
no.
sure.
Oh, you don't know. I don't believe.
They put in Thai.
No preservative?
Yes, yeah.
No, there's no.
Yeah, they say-
There's unlikely that there's a preservative because these kinds of things,
Yeah, they said
citrus,
no
preservative.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
So it'll keep
plastic
till
bag.
December, is it?
But yes, but you made a very important point. Very important, smart point. How am I supposed to read all these things that are on the back of all these boxes and know what's going on? How can I figure this out? Some of these names I've never seen before. And this is the thing you're always going to remember. When I pick up a box, if I can't read it, I don't eat it. That's it. If you can't read it, don't eat it. If I can't read what's on the back of that box, I can't understand what that is, that would be my first rule. My second rule I will teach you about ingredients. The first ingredient is the most abundant ingredient in the food. So later on we'll see when we pick up a cereal, what is the most abundant ingredient? First one. Next thing, when I look down at ingredients and it turns into a paragraph this long, I have to say to myself, there is nothing in nature that has a paragraph of ingredients this long in it. And if I keep putting this many ingredients in my body, by the end of the day, I may have put thousands of ingredients in it just before I had dinner. And I got to be cautious about this. The body works in a balance. So much so in a certain period of time, so much so easily, always from nature. Nature will always give the right direction. Think about this. When was the last time the sun sent you a bill for all that energy it's been giving you? Never did that, did it? No. Okay, so nature's on your side. The planet is magnetic. It's always taking away the bad energy. Just allow the bad energy to go. Watermelons over here can be used for blood cleansing. Cucumbers over here can be helpful for your blood. Tomatoes we can be useful sometimes in the joints. Sometimes can make joints worse, sometimes better. But many of these things have many different types of effects. So as we walk around, over here, onions. Onions can help to stimulate digestion. If my digestion's slow, helps to stimulate digestion. Root vegetables like these squashes have tons of fiber. This is going to move digestion. And notice it's also green on the outside, so it has nutrients in it. Sometimes when I cut this open, I'll steam it, I'll bake it, I'll put a little bit of honey on top of it, maybe some cinnamon, and I'll even eat the green part because I know the green part has tons of minerals in it. Chew it down a little bit more, get what I need to get out of it. You'll find the same thing in other root vegetables. So this one looks like the shape of what? A uterus? Even is in the same color of that chakra of the body. These root vegetables are very good, very grounding, especially a woman has just come off her cycle, lost so much blood, need to renutrify this part of the body. What is it that you would say in nature has a lot of something that looks like blood in it? Let's see if we can find it. Maybe we'll find it somewhere. If it have blood in it, it would be a vegetable. Do we find any beets around here? Maybe we see a beet. Probably not exactly the easiest thing to find out. Okay, come on, you can come this way. Beets are root vegetables, sometimes they're out of season, and beet is something that has a lot of iron in it. When I have my menstrual cycle, no, men have menstrual cycles, let me let you know, they really do have menstrual cycles. Usually about 2 days before the full moon and 2 days after, they're like rabid dogs. No matter what you say, there's no way to get through to them. They're going off the hook. Their testosterone's roaming through their body. But I'm not a woman, so I don't bleed. But if you think about it, a woman's menstrual cycle flows like the ocean. It's always in a cycle that sits with the moon. And when this blood comes out, we have to renutrify with all this iron. And all this iron can come from beets. You can also get this from many other different sources. But specifically on the cleanse, we can use beets in order to make sure that happens. Now I've noticed something else. We come over here. Sprouts. Here's sprouts up here. We have sunflower sprouts, mung bean sprouts. These sprouts and watercress. These sprouts, particularly, are like superfood. This kind of sprout, because what has happened is this tiny little baby seed is starting to explode from the soil, and it's going to grow very, very rapidly. So the enzyme content is very, very high. This enzyme is an active part of the food, the part that keeps it alive. So when I make my salads and I make this big salad, I always put sprouts on top of it. Always put sprouts on top of it because now I'm getting enzymes, more vitamins, more minerals, more nutrients. It's making it easier for me to digest the food. This is going to make it so that that salad that I took in, I'm going to get a lot more nutrients out of it. Here are all the herbs: rosemary, thyme, oregano, sage. I might take all 4 of these, put this in a blender, olive oil, a little bit of some vinegar. Maybe I put some onion in there, maybe a little bit of garlic. Mix them together. Garlic is an antibiotic. This one helps with digestion. This one's going to help a little bit with digestion and circulation. This one will help with nervous disorders. This one will create more of an aroma, can help the skin. So all of these things are things that we can see could be very powerful. So now we took that one salad, got as many nutrients as we could out of it as possible. It was organic. Put sprouts on top of it, made a dressing that had herbs in it. We basically just made a super meal. So now we have a super amount of energy to be able to go to work that day, come back from lunch and be able to actually get my work done more efficiently, get my stuff done, know what's going on, feel clear in my mind, get more fluid from my food, more water and nutrients, more fiber. Then I know my digestive system starts moving better. Burdock root is a blood cleanser. This one you could chop up or even put in when you make your blended vegetable soups, which you're going to learn how to make, your green soups, you can put some burdock root in there.
What about mushrooms?
Mushrooms are a nightshade that can be good for many things. Usually they can be very helpful with the immune system, more of a reishi mushroom. It's also a nightshade like a tomato.
And the capsicums, bell peppers.
Sometimes when you have a heat-causing condition in your body, like upset digestive stomach, it's not good to put mushrooms on top of that. Or if you have joint conditions, it can make that a little bit more inflammatory. So this is the reason why when you come to us and you want to find out what's going on, we can actually balance these things and pull some things out, put other things in, because we're using basically 5-element theory in Chinese medicine to know when somebody's out of balance. Is there too much water? Is there too much heat in digestion? Is there too much heat in the thyroid? This way we can figure out how to calm this heat down in order to make the changes that we know we want to make in the body.
These carrots that are big.
You're going to find organic and organic section. Hold
Do you
on.
know about Detox, the King's Project?
This is, and this one is to create more of local agriculture.
Yeah, but this is the King's Project and it's all organic and it's a
Yes.
lot less expensive.
Okay,
than
so here, the King's Project growing locally organic food. What did you call it again? Doikam? Doikam. So I would look for this label, and I would definitely start to take this in because it is going to be organic. Notice the greens, the Royal Crown, the blues, and it should be all over town in almost every store so that you can make sure that you're getting whole organic food. Here we have a fennel, definitely something to help bring your blood sugar down. Fennel seeds. Celery, excellent for helping build bone. What does it look like? Like a bone, right? Yes. So all of these things from nature have jobs that they do. They have a reason for doing what they do. Broccoli has anti-cancer agents in it, like lycopene. Cauliflower has many of these anti-cancer agents in them. This cabbage, definitely high fiber, moving digestion. If you're having problems going to the bathroom, we need to have more cabbage in there. A little bit steamed, want to soften it up a little bit. The question about the carrots over here, if the carrots are not coming from the King's Project and it doesn't say organic on it, it's not an organic vegetable. But a root vegetable, something that's under the ground, is going to be less likely to absorb large amounts of pesticides. So when it's under the ground, it is much better. We could see more organic salad ideas up here. I'm sure that if we look at berries, if we were to go over to the berries, I would never buy a berry unless it was organic. And the main reason for that is that it's a very soft skin. And a lot of insects like berries. So, if this is not organic, I'm going to have this one. because I know that this is going to absorb a large amount of pesticides. We're going to go over this next week, but the harder the surface, the less likely it's going to absorb them. But the softer the surface, grapes and berries,